Welcome, guys, to another stream on understanding, fixing, and building credit. If you guys can hear me well, let me know. Hey, Tim, what's going on, brother? How are you doing today? How's the volume? So let's get this going. Sounds good. That's good to hear. So we're gonna go ahead and start this off. Is the music too loud, Tim? How's the music? Choppy now. Oh, come on. The music is choppy or my voice is choppy? Music is good. My voice is a little choppy, okay? How's that? Is that any better for you? All right, so let's kick this off. What's up, Corey Case? How you doing, brother? So, first and foremost, how was everybody's holiday, man? I know mine was kind of a little fun yesterday, but how was everybody's holiday? Got a couple people in here, okay? So we got somebody else. All right, let's get this thing started. So I'm gonna go with my introduction. Good evening to all family and friend. Welcome to our program, Financial Freedom, with yours truly, Cash Caduce. Thank you for joining in, and welcome to being part of our journey to learning and growth. We're here to help each other every week to improve ourselves and our community. We will focus on working harder and smarter to get where we need faster and better. This program was intended for the tinting and automotive community, but it applies to us all. We are going to learn how to financially be responsible, accountable, secure, and independent. We'll cover everything financial from personal credit to business credit and everything in between, like buying a house or a business, getting out of debt, building a saving to retirement, cash flow to investment, and to be finally financially free. Don't be shy like I was, man. Come in, be active, discuss, learn, and contribute. So, as a community, we can all grow and become something beautiful. Bring your questions, tips, tricks, small and big, don't matter. Use a chat or come on live. The link is going to be right here. I'm going to add it in shortly. It doesn't matter if you have a computer or a phone, Apple or Android, it's going to work on everything. So, let's get started on our journey to learning and growth. I don't know, I'm trying to do this thing regularly. Hopefully, it gets better. Tim says the holiday was a little odd. Oldest was sick, so not many came over, but others than that, good. Well, that's good to hear, man. At least you enjoyed it. So, we're gonna continue on with what we did last week on learning our credit and improving on it and fixing it and doing better. I'm finally on OBS, so hopefully this new layout works. If it doesn't, let me know. I'm gonna take the chats away because they're kind of small, kind of in the way a little bit. What do you guys think about new background? Does this work? So, few announcements. Thank you, Corey. Case. So how was your holiday, Corey? I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit more so we can focus more on the talking. A couple things going on that's gonna be happening this week. Good. Son got to come home. That's awesome, man. That's good to hear that you saw your son. All right, guys. First and foremost, I had a really fun weekend, really interesting weekend. I got a bad headache today. Got a sinus. You can probably hear from my voice, but we'll get to review what we did last week real quick, and we'll do our giveaway. We got some announcements. First announcement is, should we be changing the time? I'm thinking by going at 8 p.m. starting next year, which is next Monday. That will be the first Monday of the year. I think it just gives us time to get done with our work a little bit and be able to focus on this. I know at least for me it would be. Since there's only a few of you guys in here, what are your thoughts on that? 8 p.m. Does that work? Then we're going to talk about a few other things. But let's start off with where we left off last week. Understanding, fixing, and building credit. Like Martin Luther King says, the time is always right to do what is right. So I like 8 p.m. Corey, yes sir. Still a little choppy, man. How is it choppy, Tim? Corey, are you hitting the choppiness on this or no? I don't know about you guys, but you see my new logo up there? That looks better than the white background. I definitely like the setup. OBS is supposed to also be in high definition, so hopefully you guys are seeing the high definition stuff. But let's get started on this presentation stuff. All right, so who needs credit? We covered this last week. Everybody needs credit if you're going to do anything without cash. Reflect, believe, empower yourself. Always remember, you got to have a dream to be able to chase it and to make it come true. Credit scores. We got to know our numbers. If you know our numbers, we can improve them. And we know where to go for. The people we're dealing with, who's involved on these credit scores. What affects our credit scores? First and foremost, always payment history, credit usage, credit history, total balance, credit card or inquiries, credit checks, available credit, type of cards you have. Note, these percentages are only estimated and are not provided by any credit agency. Please use them at your own risk. I mean, being smart about it. All right. Choppy. Man, how do I fix choppy? Maybe I got too much volume here. How's that? Is that any better, guys? Tim, I'm waiting for a response, brother. Do I need to bring my mic in a little bit closer? Is that better? Progress, moving forward. We always got to move forward. It doesn't matter if you're at the start or if you're coming off of a bad place. You gotta always move forward and rebuild if you have to. And that's what this program is going to be about, is building fresh and rebuilding bad. So gotta keep that in mind. Remember, being happy doesn't mean you have it all. It simply means you're thankful for all you have. So be thankful where you're at right now, man. It doesn't matter where you're at. Soft versus hard credit check. We talked about this where soft credit is a lot of it is you checking your credit or something light somebody does on you, like an employer or small stuff that doesn't affect your credit score compared to if you go buy a car or if you want to get a new credit card or anything where they actually gonna check a full credit. That's called a hard credit. That just definitely affects your points. Why my score dropped by 100 points? So I don't know if you covered this last week or not, but this is big for a lot of people. All of a sudden, they have a big drop in the credit. And they're like, "What the heck happened?" So a lot of that has to do with a lot of different reasons, but mostly if you miss your payments or if you're using too much of your credit, so that makes a big difference. Closing older accounts, you got to be really careful when you're choosing which accounts to keep and which accounts to close. Love this. Who don't want this? I don't think we saw this last week, but that is my credit score. um, and I love it. I'm where I'm at. And then there's some benefits that I'm currently using. If you build up cards that have points, look at this one card I got. I have $5,000 in value in that card. And you guys got to always look for the cards that give you the most. 5%, $1,000, 1.5% in points. These points add up, guys. So when you guys are doing cards, you guys got to be smart about choosing which card you have in your wallet and how do you use it. Thoughts and benefits and facts. And I love this from Shady. This is when trying to learn or grow. Remember this. Assume the person you are listening to knows something you don't. So never close your mind about learning and growing. We can always grow. I'm still trying to grow. And then what I love about the middle one is that's an actual picture from last week. If you look at the line, it says no present spending limit. That is the benefits you want to be at. You want to be at a point where you have cards that you can use the heck out without any restrictions on. That's where we want to get to. And time is money. All right, fixing and building credit. This is what we're going to focus on today. I don't know if you guys been here or were with me when we talked about the expense sheet on Google Sheets. So we're going to look at that a little bit today, and we can make modifications and see what we can do with that. So first and foremost, you got to know your budget. You got to know your numbers, what you're bringing in, what you're using. And one thing I want to add to that is a lot of us make all our expenses like, hey, I need this expense. You may not need everything. You need to write it down and really consider, do I need this? Can I afford this? Oh, my shirt. Tender for cost, guys. Remember, this is what started this. I got the shirt in a couple weeks ago. I just had it sit to the side, so I wanted to put it on today and kind of share it. What we said, it's really hard to understand you. It's really choppy. All right. Is it still choppy, Corey? Hopefully this is supposed to be better. If it's still choppy, I may need to adjust the volume. It says my volume is good. My connection should be fast internet. Yeah, choppy. Damn. So I don't know what that is gonna be, man. Honestly. We'll look into the audio real quick. All right, can you still hear me? How does that sound? Is that any better? Yes. No. It's good now. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Okay. If I'm talking too much, it starts getting bad. Good now. Okay. All right. So let's get to all right. So let's get to our stuff today. Making an expense sheet and know your budget. That's the first and foremost thing. We'll cover that. We'll come back in a minute. We'll go over a spreadsheet and we'll look at what we need to do on that. Then you gotta once you get that down, whether you're starting off on your credit or rebuilding your credit, you need to pull your credit on all three of those agencies that we talked about earlier. You need to double check all your outstanding balance and collections. Make sure that information is accurate and it's same on all three. Wherever there is difference on it, you want to fix that right away. Contact them and get it taken care of. Contact the correct people to get a resolution. So if you don't know, Tim had this question last week. How do I contact? Who do I contact? So first and foremost, whoever you have the collection from, the original company, I would contact them first. And if they've moved it on to a collection agency, they would give you the information to the collection agency to contact them. Once you do that, when you contact the correct people, you want to get a result as soon as possible. If you have the ability to pay it off, and get it off your credit as soon as possible. If you don't have the ability to pay it off, make a payment plan with them, guys. And you got to remember, if you're in collections guys are buying your debt pennies on a dollar. So there's always a wiggle room for them to work with you to get it paid off sooner than later, and they'll may give you a big discount to pay off your amount right away than making a whole bunch of payments. But regardless, get it to where you need to get it paid off and get it off your credit report as soon as possible, because that sucker is going to stay on there for some years. All right. Make sure whatever you do with them, you get it in writing. Have them email that stuff, fax it, whatever needs to be done, get it in writing. These days, it's the law for them to give it to you in writing. The reason you want it in writing before you start making the payment or you start making that payoff is that you want to make sure they're going to be held on their end. Because let's say if you owe $1,000 and you said, hey, all I got is $500, and they agreed, let's pay off that 500 right now, because most of the time collection agencies want that payment ASAP, and they'll waive the other 500. You want to get that in writing. Say, if I pay off 500 right now, my total balance is zero. I don't owe anything, and there will be no further collection actions against me. So we guys got to look at that and work on that. Thank you, Tim. Carlos waved. What's going on, Carlos? Welcome to the stream, brother. I want to share that Carlos sold out of his event. Tenor Battles 2023 is sold out. If you didn't get your tickets, too bad, too sad. Unless Carlos is working on something. We don't know. Carlos, any update on that? Are you still with us? All right, well, Carlos will respond if he's still here. We'll wait for that. Otherwise, we're going to go into the next thing. How do we build and how do we start our credit? Yes, still here. We are sold out. Now, Shady had mentioned something about you guys are working on something to have more tickets available. How true is that? Is that something in the works? Is that out the window? What's going on, Carlos? Enlighten us, brother. You want to talk about that, Carlos? Get on the live for a minute. Let me know. While he does that, we will do a financial freedom giveaway. There's not a lot of you, so it should be pretty quick, right? Right? All right. Which card we gonna do? So let's take a look at what we got here. We got Apple, Bath and Beyond, California Pizza Kitchen, and then we got the restaurants. So let's see where it lands. I'm just gonna click a whole bunch of times, and wherever it stops, that's the one we're doing. It is gonna be Apple. Choppy, skipping again. Got choppy little again. Got kids off internet. Get the kids off the internet. I know, right? Man, kids, if they get off the internet, they're gonna be bothering me. I can't have that. I'm supposed to have fiber, man. I'm not supposed to have this issue. I don't know where it's coming from. This is the first time we're doing OBS, so maybe I gotta play with it a little bit more. All right, guys. Numbers 25 to 40. Give me the numbers. Let's do this $25 Apple gift card. I like where Tim is headed. He's gonna start off. There's a delay in the reply to the live. We have a few reserved for essential personnel helping to produce the event. As much as I love to open the doors for everyone to attend, there's a delicate limit we have to balance with the venue to accommodate for meal seating is extra. Corey, it's 25 to 40, brother. Not going down. You gotta go up. Brian says 33. Nope. You would think it'd be 33 from my last time, but it's not 33 this time. Who's here? Matt says 37. Nope. 37, 29, 30, 36. All right, somebody's come really close to it, but I have not seen it yet. Not 38, so I'm giving you guys a hint what the numbers are. So the 34, Corey, that's like the fourth time somebody said it. The number I'm thinking, oh, there's Corey, got it, 35. Corey, you have the Apple. Congratulations. All right, going back to our learning. All right, guys. So Carlos says the Tenor Battles is sold out. If you didn't get your ticket, then you're not one of the VIPs. So sorry, you missed out on a great opportunity. I will be there next week, and we'll report on how that is. I'm pretty sure Carlos got a live event that he's going to be doing to make sure the people that were not able to come in can still enjoy the Tenor Battles. I can't wait. This is going to be my first one. I've got my shirts now. It's only a week away. I can't stop thinking about it, what I need to take with me, what time I'm going to get there, all this. And man, Shady was sharing this earlier that it's getting a little exciting. All right, getting back to our needing really what we need to work on. Number 6 is where we at. Look into different types of loans, personal, car, secure credit cards, all that stuff. What I want to wear, I know, right? Choppy, man. Am I too close to the mic? What's going on? Let me push this mic back. All right. Is that better? Man, I can't understand choppiness on this thing. It's supposed to be great connection with OBS, man. All right, guys. Whether you're building credit or you're rebuilding your credit, check your plug to the mic. It's a USB, man. There's nothing to be checked. It's in here. Give me a second, guys. Tim doesn't like my choppiness on the audio, so we're gonna go mic. All right, default Samsung. Do we have any other? All right. Can you guys hear me? Is this any better? If I'm consistently talking, is this any better? Yes? No? Tim, you're the man on this, man. Give me an input. Now, good. Corey says, okay. You're low now. Okay. Well, I'll move the mic back a little bit, so I'll move it back up. It's back into the screen. There we are. All right, guys. So whether we're fixing credit or whether we're building credit, what we need to look at is a couple different things. We need to look at what kind of cards we can get, and this is very important what you do with this step because you can either slow up your credit building or rebuilding, or you can speed it up. If you can afford or need a car loans are easiest one to get. You will pay high interest if you don't have good credit score, but that is easier loan to get than anything else out there. So sometimes you may just have to eat that up to kickstart your credit. But the best solution, and maybe you can do a couple of these, is that what we shared last week are secure credit cards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump on Bank of America's website, and they've got some secure credit cards that you can get with them and make the most out of it. So give me a second. I'm gonna share our screen and we'll be back. Give me 1 second here. All right. No captcha. All right. Can you guys see that? And I'm on here too. Yay. Ooh, look at that. That's crazy. All right. So go to Bank of America. They're one of the best ones for credit building that you can utilize and get your credit cards going. So if you go to Bank of America, this is their homepage. So just so everybody can kind of follow through this, I would go search here and I would do secure credit cards. Okay, right here, the first one. Once you do that, search it. I don't know why am I getting extra security. I don't need extra security. Come on, let me in. New PC, guys. I should have played with this. What the hell? No, I don't want to register. Skip that, man. Your credit cards. Come on. Nope. Okay. Bank of America secure credit cards. We'll go the other way around, man. All right. Bank of America secure cards. Okay. So there we go. Help establish credit. So this is one way to do it. They have a whole bunch of different cards that you can actually compare and get. But the main thing, what I want to focus is I want to focus on right here. If you guys can see this. All right. Does everybody see that? So I'm gonna come back and ask you guys. Corey says when you did that, it got choppy and now it's back to good. Okay, cool. All right, so let's put this back up. You guys see this right here, right? Right over here. So this part that I got highlighted, this is what you guys want to pay attention to. You guys don't want to apply for some of these mailers that tells you to you're pre-approved and you're approved for anywhere from $50 to $250. A lot of these guys will send you that Capital One is great for this kind of stuff. But when you do your when you start off your credit building and you start off with what I call uh, slow build up, where you kind of do a minimum and start off on that, it's going to take you a lot longer to get to where you need to on a credit score wise because you limit yourself what your credit is. So, for example, what I'm talking about here is that if I got somebody that started off a credit at 200 and somebody that starts off at 5,000, the guy that's gonna have the 200, the way the secure card work is that if you pay your payments on time, you will get your money back after 12 months. And that's how most of these guys are set up. So you have to treat this as like a checking account, okay? You can only use what you put in, what you initially put in. Most of these work off of the initial payment. Some of them will let you increase your credit, but most of them is off the initial payment because the way it's worked is that whatever you start off with, that is your credit limit. If you do good with that for 12 months, you're not late on any payments. You pay off the balances or you recur it. It doesn't matter as long as you're making your payments. After 12 months, what they do is that the initial payment that they give you, they put that back into your account and they actually give you the same amount as a credit limit. So if somebody has a credit limit of 200 and somebody that has a credit limit of 500, their score is going to determine off of what their credit amount is available. Does that make sense to you guys? So I'm gonna go take this way and I'm gonna go back to this screen right here and show you guys what I'm talking about. So, so available, it says 3 to 5, 3 to 8%, but it affects a little bit more. Okay, so whoever's got more credit available, they're gonna have a higher credit score than somebody that doesn't have that much credit available, and how much you utilize it. So there's a couple things you gotta realize. If you only have a $200 credit limit and you're using $50 of the 200, well, now you're using 25% of your credit limit compared to if somebody has a $5,000 credit limit and they're using same $50, now they're using 1%. So your credit is going to base off of what do you actually use, your total balance owed, your available credit, and credit usage. If you look at those are three things on this list. So it's not just the 3 to 8%, also that total balance owed, 11 to 20%. It's also credit usage, 20 to 30%. So that's where you guys got to look at when you're doing your initial start off. Sometimes you may have to push off maybe a couple months, save up that money. If you don't have it right away, save up and come back to it a little bit later and start that at that time. Hopefully you guys follow on that. If I'm making you guys lose, if I'm losing you guys on this, please correct me, let me know so that way I can address this for you guys. This is a very key point on building and rebuilding our credit. You guys need to have this down, okay? This right here. Don't just go for the minimum, man. Don't go for the pre-proof stuff. Pay attention to these. And now Bank of America, this is just showing one, but if you go through the site, I don't know why it's this new computer's got extra security. It's not letting me go through all of it. But If you go and you can review, they got like four different cards that you can use with them. So this one here, introductory APR, none. Standard APR, 25.74. Annual fee, zero. Balance transfer fee, 3%. Minimum $10. You guys got to pay attention to this. What is all this stuff? APR means annual percentage rate, okay? What they charge you monthly, but it's based off an annual fee. All right. So for that, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to share this. So when we're doing credit cards, we're looking at this is what you should be looking at. Okay. You guys should be looking at all this stuff on your credit card. So this is my credit card sample. Now I've changed my numbers around a little bit just to make sure that I'm secure on my information, that nobody uses it wrong. So a lot of this stuff is what is close to what my cards are. Some of the cards I have, some of the cards I don't have, some of the ones I made up. I definitely have the Costco card. I definitely have American Express. Some of these I don't have, but I just put it out there. PNC is got two cards with those. City, there's two cards. A lot of time you can have same CT, you can have two cards with them, or you can have three cards with the same company, but they have different benefits. Okay, so you got to look at it. But even with my good credit, and this is my sample of my credit score right here, if you guys can see that, the reason you want to see your credit score across the board is you want to see what the similarities are. Okay, if your credit score right here, this is an oddball. The reason this is 858 because this is based off of 900. Oh my God, I'm on the wrong screen. What the heck happened? Ooh, ooh. Nobody told me. All right, let's go back here. All right, so this is where I was talking about, guys. Sorry. I didn't realize we switched screens and you guys were not seeing this. Okay. So, give you better numbers. This is what you want to do when you have your cards and when you have multiple cards. Try list all your cards down. First and foremost, what you want to do on your cards is your due dates. Always pay attention to your due dates. There's a whole bunch of other information that we'll talk about, but what I was talking about, APR down here on this line, even with somebody like my credit score up in the 800, the normal APRs are still pretty high for a lot of these cards. Okay, as you'll see, the best one right here is 17.24 on the normal. Now, when I'm doing purchases, I'm looking for promo APRs or credit balance transfers, what the interest I paid per year, previous interest, and all that stuff. You guys can keep an eye on it. But here's the other thing I was talking about: credit used, credit available. I try to keep my credit available up in the 97, 98%. I've worked on this to have 169. I actually have a little bit more than that available, but just to, for example, I put that out there. That's between all my cards because I started out with Bank of America as my first card and I had put down $300 on this card. But I've had this card since 2006 is not accurate, but close to it. Okay. And I've worked really hard to make sure I push Bank of America to increase my credit. So you guys got to learn to, once you start managing your credit, how to consistently get an increase on your credit. Don't keep your credit limit at the same spot. Once a year and only on three, maximum four cards, ask for increase. So if you look down here, I asked for increase on five cards, but out of those five cards, two of them are PNC and two of them are City. So in actuality, that's only three inquiries for me. That was last year this time. So now it's been a year. I don't have any inquiries on my credit report. So I'm gonna ask for another increase. I want to make sure my numbers go up. See how this one is 26,000, this one is 15, this one's 19. So my goal always is take my lowest number, get it closest to the highest number possible. This is a little tip and trick that you guys need to work on. I'm not getting any feedback, guys. Are you guys still there? Did I lose a bunch of you? My chats are dead. So am I doing this thing right? I like some feedback, guys. If I'm not doing this right, let me know. Tim said he's here. All right, Tim. Tim, how am I doing on the teaching part, man? Am I getting you guys where it needs to be? Corey says he's watching. I think about this show and I'm like, am I doing something that's actually productive? Is it really helping anybody? I know my thought was to help out the people, but I want to make sure if it's not, I don't want to waste anybody's time, man. Like I want to make sure people really want to improve and they want to learn and do something. So please give me feedback because that helps me. Let me know if that's gonna be something that you guys can utilize. It's actually helping out and so on. Learning stuff I don't know. Okay, cool, Corey. At least as long as one person's doing it, man, I'm fine with that, brother. All right. So I'm gonna throw this out there. Fair to good credit inquiries. What I was just talking about. Zero is what you really want to aim for. One to two is good. When you get to the fair, to me is not good. Okay, six is poor. So if you start getting your credit check pulled all over the place, that's actually gonna hurt your credit. It's gonna drop you down. So you guys gotta pay attention to not have too many credit inquiries. That's why I put a date on my inquiries and make sure that I'm not hitting more than two to three inquiries total. Um, as you saw, it says one to two is good. So on that, three is still right at the borderline, so I pushed up to three just because I need the increase on there. Credit usage similar to credit available, but greater impact. Okay, what that mean is credit available. Let's go to where's credit is available. So credit available, I put these numbers up. If you got 50% of your credit that's still available, what we were talking about earlier on the numbers, that's poor. It's considered very bad. So you got to realize credit, the way it works is they want to give credit to the people that don't need it, and they don't want to give to the credit to the people that do need it. The reason for that is what their chances of losing out. So let's say I give $1,000 credit limit to somebody that it stays on their bills, pays their bills, and is known to hold good credit. Well, for the credit card company, that's a really in person that they're interested in and getting their money secured compared to somebody that doesn't have any credit or have bad credit. Bad credit means that, hey, I have a high chance of losing my money I give him. So if I give him $1,000 credit limit, he uses $1,000 and tomorrow he may not pay me and I may lose out on that. So one, interest rate is going to be higher for that person as well as availability and credit score. So we're on our time for another giveaway. I know there's not a lot of you guys, but so I guess it's pretty much T-Town's working on his tail leads. I am here to learn, bro. I appreciate that, Tim. All right, so let's go back to our gift cards. Let's go through one more time. Where does it land? All right, it landed on Gap. Since there's only a few of you guys, what do we talked about on credit that is going to have the highest impact? So let's see if anybody paying attention to that. What is the highest impact on your credit score? What impacts your credit score the highest? What's going to hurt it? Or at the same time, is also going to help you improve it. Hint is that we talked about this on the secure credit card. How do you get your money back? Who was paying attention? That's right, Corey. On time payments. On time payments is the biggest thing that affects your credit. But Corey, you already won, brother. How much money you have freed, Tim, that is a good thing, but the on time payment is number one. So we gotta look at that. So since there's not a lot of people out there, Corey, you get to choose, bro. You want a Gap or you want Apple? Because like I said, one winner per stream. It must be me not being on time. So I'm gonna go back to that screen real quick. All right. So here we go. And boom. This is where you guys gotta take a screenshot of this and put this in your favorite or whatever you want to do on. Because this is your biggest impact. These are the things that's going to impact your credit score the most. Give Gap to Tim. All right, you got it, Corey. We'll make it happen. All right, so this is why you got to pay attention to this stuff. All right, so there's a few more captions I'm going to put down here. Total balance, similar to credit available, but more impact. Credit uses, similar to available, but same kind of impact. Late payments. Okay. Late payments, all they give you is one. One every 24 months, not 12 month, guys. One every 24 month is really what they're going to look at for you. All right. Now, they do record it for 7 years, but what they're paying attention to is the 24 months. So the last 24 months of your credit is what's impacting most of your credit score. So if you're late on your payment, that's going to hurt you the most amount, up to 40%. And that's on one payment. Okay? If you got two and three, you're going to have more impact. Four means you might as well kill your credit score right there. So you guys got to make sure credit payments needs to be made on time. That's why when we go back here and we go to this screen, the first and foremost important thing right up here is when is my due date? Highlight that sucker. Put that thing as your number one thing to pay attention to. Your credit score is going to rely a lot on this number. So if this number is not managed properly, it's going to, if you don't make your payments on time, it's going to affect you big time. Other thing we talk about on the credit scores is going to be your closing date, your minimum payment, statement payment, total balance. So let's talk about this right here. Minimum payment. So if your card total balance is 375, but your statement closed on 11/26 and your statement balance was 346, you got to worry about 346, not 375. Now, 346, when we're looking at this one, they're asking for $25 as a minimum payment. If you just make the minimum payments, I've actually wrote it down here somewhere. Dun, 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 dun. It's going to take 18 months for me to pay off $346 if I'm only making $25 payments. Okay. That might not be accurate, but it's close to it. I might have some of these numbers backwards, but anyways, it's gonna take you forever because now you're gonna incur interest every time. So if the 346, if I'm doing 17.24 on this here, that is gonna be a very high amount after 17.24 gets added to that. So pay attention to your, don't pay the minimum payment, man. Pay as much as you can. If you can pay the whole statement balance, pay the whole statement balance. If you can afford it. See, look at mine. I'm paying the full payment statement balances, and I'm putting down what date I paid them. I make this spreadsheet. I make one that's all complicated with all this extra stuff on the bottom to pay attention to my previous balance, interest paid, year to date interest, minimum payoff time. If there's a cash advance, do not use your cards for cash advance, man. They have this option on there, but I plea and I beg you guys, do not use this. This is a trap. You're gonna pay your ass for this stuff, and it hurts you when you use cash advances on credit cards. I don't care who says what on that. Then what I like to pay attention to is points. If there's membership fees, if on my membership fees are being offset with the benefits I'm getting, late fees, what the late fees are for each one of them, just so I know it. Last time I increased my credit, promo APR. So there's a couple that I have zero. So this is what I was talking about balance transfers earlier. You want to look for cards when you get to this point is where you can do a balance transfer. What you can do is you can take all these cards and balance transfer over to one card, and you pay a one-time small fee, which is usually 5 to 8% on most people. If you're good, you get down to 4, and there's some time where you see 3. 3 is very hard for a balance transfer fee. I've only seen it a few times, but I do have a card that offers it. I heard of a unicorn that says 2% balance transfer fee. There is no zero balance transfer fee. There is 0% interest for a certain amount. A lot of time it's 12 months, 18 months, or 24 months. But they always charge you a balance fee. If the bank is charging less than 3%, they're losing money on it. So bank does not like to lose money. They always like to make money. So 3% is the lowest I've seen. I've heard some people say 2%. Ain't true. All right, guys. Tim says, save shipping, bring it to the battles. I will. How long does it take to continue to hurt your credit score after you not pay like a $300 loan off? Like, does it stop hurting it after so many years? No, man. It just keeps on going. It's on your credit. Um, if you're not paying, then it's gonna be on your card and it's gonna get only worse. So that's why I said it earlier. You guys got to hit. This is what Corey said. Let me put Corey's thing up here so everybody can see it. How long does it continue to hurt your credit score after you're not paid like a $300 loan off? It continues to hurt. There's no stopping it. It's not gonna stop until you pay it off. So you got to pay it off, pay it off, pay it off. All right. So gonna do my announcement earlier. I don't know how many people remember this. I did this post days ago. Um, and I'm not trying to take a side. I got one for 9 years ago. I got take care of that. Yes, Corey, you got to take care of that. All right. So Corey said this. All right. Guys, I know I saw this on a whole bunch of different chat rooms, and I'm not trying to make things worse. I'm trying to actually educate our community. So I want to have a open debate on this, man. Like a lot of people hate that. Hey, man, these manufacturers are requiring minimum buy-in. Well, I put this out there. The only person that's responded, it was Dean Mitchell that got Chris Hardy to agree to come on live this Wednesday at 8 p.m. to go and answer these hard questions. So if you got questions about this, you got issues about this, bring it to Chris. I'm still waiting on 3M and Eastman to respond. Maybe they can respond, maybe they cannot. Sometime I was told it might be legal issues that they can't openly talk. But what I want to know is I want to have a platform for everybody to discuss, man. Come on. We have to stop thinking about ego. We have to stop thinking about me. We have to stop thinking about brands. We have to start thinking smartly. And then if there is restrictions like this, why are they there? We're automatically assuming it's not cool, it's not fair, they're just being greedy. Let's get their side of the story. But at the same time, let's be on our side. Let's ask these hard questions. So if you're one of the guys that's complaining, I invite you to come on Wednesday on the stream and ask Chris. And if by that time we have somebody from 3M or Eastman that wants to come on and answer and join on that conversation on that platform, it's a platform, guys, for us to get answers, for us to get understanding. My whole thing of doing this is to educate our community so that way we're a better community. I think this is a great issue that needs to be addressed properly instead of just on the chats, just like, oh man, they're ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. They just want money, boom, boom, boom. No, man, come on, let's talk, give them a chance. Let's have our chance as well. I'm not just saying it be one side. I'm not saying just the manufacturers and the suppliers talk. Come on the other side, man. I need some people that wants to come out and ask them the hard questions. I will ask some questions. If you don't want to come online, shoot me your questions and I will make sure they get answered on Wednesday. This may be a 30-minute program, it may be an hour program depending on how many people come on and what questions we have. But Chris Hardy from Expel, he's their head guy. He said he'll come on and he'll answer whatever questions you got. He'll make it straight. He'll be straightforward about it. So Wednesday, guys, 8 p.m. Come join, get your answers. Let's knock out some of these questions that we have and build a better community for everybody. So that's one of the announcement. The other announcement was that Tino Barrels 23 got sold out. If you didn't heard, which most people did. And then we're changing my time for next Monday starting. We'll be at 8 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. Eastern time. Other than that, we'll go back to here. If anybody wants a copy of this, I am more than willing and able to share. I also made a simpler copy. This is what I focus on myself personally every week. I look at my credit report, my credit balances, what's due, what needs to be paid. I make sure that they're paid at least a couple days ahead of time. And I always pay attention to this. What am I using? And what is my credit available? I want this to be over 250 on my personal side. Now, on my business side, I showed this to you guys earlier, but I'm going to go back here and I'm going to show you this same thing we talked about earlier. This right here, no present spending limit. This is where I want you guys to be at. Look, I've got them on my business side. I'm using $187. I have a balance of $187,000. That's $187,511.51 as of last week. That was my balance. But look at this line. This is the line I love. The benefit I reek off of. Look at that. I got points. I'm using the hell out of these points. But this is the line I want everybody to be at. I want you to have a credit card that does not have a spending limit. You know, we talk about that black card. That's what this is, man. Like, honestly, when it says I don't have a spending limit and I'm almost at $200,000, this is on my business side, guys. This is not on my own personal side, but it is based off of my personal. You got to realize your business credit starts off your personal credit. If your personal credit is screwed up, your business credit is not going to go far. It's going to be basing the foundation is off of you. And then you can build it from there and make it separate. But this is based off of me, man. I love that. I want you guys to have the same thing. So that is that. Journey to learning and growth. Keep that in mind, guys, please. And we'll be back here on Wednesday for the special interview with Chris Hardy. So please join me and Chris so that way we can answer our questions. Any questions you guys got for me? Richard, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Any questions, guys, before we kick off tonight? I think I'm gonna keep it simple and not do too much. Um, Corey, I'll be there. Yes, sir. Anything I need to cover tonight that we talked about? I know we talked a little bit, focus on credit rebuilding this time, and we'll focus more on it. We'll continue this series until we get it down to where we need to. And if you're not here on time and you're watching this on a rewatch, guys, any questions you got, please feel free to contact me. Bring up the questions, even if you're just doing this as a replay, and I will answer any questions. If anybody needs one-on-one help, I'm more than happy to help you guys to get to where you guys need to go and be financially free. It is a very good feeling to be financially free compared to where you're kind of trapped and you're not able to get what you want just because we all make mistakes. We just need to learn how to fix them and get over it and go be better ourselves. So if that's it, good night. Have a great week. If you have a chance, come on Wednesday. We'll go from there. Otherwise, have a happy new year. I will see you on the 2nd next Monday at 8 p.m. and we'll pick up exactly where we left off. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great night. Bye. I'm smiling, Richard. You said don't cut off with a bad smile, so I'm smiling. Just want